I think the team that most likely, if Luka trades out, the team that's most likely going to give an offer you can't refuse to, and Luka will get traded to, is the Thunder. They have 2 May draft picks. You
trade Luka.
If you're the Dallas Mavericks, and you have to trade Luka Doncic, I mean, I understand you're trading to another West team and another Southwest team if you care about divisions, even though divisions really don't matter. The Thunder have enough draft picks that you cannot say no to that. And then you have Shea, and you would probably have to trade Giddey and maybe Jalen Williams or Lou Dort to make the money work. But
okay, so he can't do that if they got to give up Shea too.
They won't give up Shea. They won't have to. They have enough draft picks where you can give up Giddey and Lou Dort and a bunch of draft picks, and then you have a core of Shea, Chet, whoever you draft, and then Luka.
Yeah,
and because you don't. Shea's not a he's a scorer. He is not a elite
can play the 2.
Yes, easily, and I think he would excel at the 2 with Luka being more ball dominant.
Okay. So you know what? So now that we know,
that's a horrible take. Horrible take.
Oh, well, go ahead, Tasha.
I don't like Luka over there at all. I like Shea in his role as he is. Luka over there, to me,
he's gonna take the ball out of his hand.
Yeah, I don't like that at all. To me, they don't need that type of scoring punch. I don't think on a team that needs Luka to score and do all that facilitating and dribble, late shot clock pass to open to a catch and shoot. No, I don't like it at all.
Yeah. I'm saying that more on the understanding that Luka's going to have to adapt, and I think he could. I think he's in a position at Dallas where he feels like coming from Europe, where it's a more team-centric style of play, and he goes to Dallas where he hasn't been surrounded with a ton of players that kind of fit that play style. Not to mention, I don't believe in Jason Kidd. I think Luka, obviously the narrative right now is you can't play with another star. That's the same narrative that we had for James Harden before Chris Paul got there because of what happened with Dwight Howard. I think that you can definitely find somebody that could play off of Luka really well. It doesn't have to only be Shea. This is me more just talking about the narrative that Luka can't play with another star. But if
you think he can't again? I don't think he's interested in it. I don't think he's interested in changing the way he plays. I don't think that, like, when he hears it, I think it's in one out the other. I think he's like, I'm Luka Doncic. I've been this man since I was 16 years old. I don't have to change. Y'all have to change for me. I think he's that classic prima donna, self-consumed type guy where it's like, this is my world.
I think Luka's emotional. I think Luka is an emotional player because he wants to win. I think Luka needs to mature on a basketball front. Not to mention, I think that he is a player that is very much focused on winning. And he is an emotional player. You see it when he complains to the refs. I think it's the same. I think we got to be more obviously critical of what Luka has done this year because James Harden's never missed, and that's who we've been comparing to all year is James Harden in his Rockets days versus Luka. But I think we are calling it a little early on Luka right now. It's not like he's like 28, 29. It's very early.
Yeah. I agree with that. I'm not saying that Luka is done or whatever, or he can't win. I'm saying if you're OKC, why would you take a chance on that when you're already building this culture and you're already building this team around Shea and Chet and other, your other pieces? Why would you go get a Luka Doncic to throw a monkey wrench in that chemistry you're building? I would rather go get, if you want to go get somebody, I don't think that's the style of player I would go after.
What you think then? What would be the perfect type of a ring?
Yeah, I would go with more of a defensive type wing. I'm not going to get a player that's not going to play defense, that's going to dominate the ball and that type of thing. So yeah, I would go get a more of a 3-and-D type player, a very solid 3-and-D type player that can, if needed, have some shot creation. But I'm not going to get Luka Doncic. No, I already have my scoring punch. I'm looking more towards defensive versatility and shot making.
they compare him to Harden, but I don't. If we saying that Luka does all this, Harden get the ball up if he got to. He just played in the system to where they.
Even still, I
Yeah.
wouldn't want a Houston Harden on that team. Like, no, I don't want
You know
that
what I'm
type
saying?
of player. I don't want that archetype of player on that team right now.
But we see Harden turn into probably one of the best point guards in the league this year. You see what I'm saying? So that's
No,
what,
that's facts. That's facts. But
that's
I'm
what
just
we
saying,
said. I'm just
he had
combating
to
what
prove
Big
that
Ox
though,
said.
Primo. He had to prove that. So I'm not going. I'm saying right after that Houston run, I'm not going to get him like right then. Now that he's proven that, okay, that's fine. But if Houston, I'm not taking. I mean, if I'm OKC, I'm not taking that chance.
But I see a little bit what Tegan talking about because when he had Jalen Brunson on the team, you see what I'm saying? He's saying like Shea and him could play that way. Because
Yeah, but Jalen Brunson is Shea is way better than Jalen Brunson. You feel me?
Exactly.
Man, what they need to do is they need to get Luka a dietitian.
Exactly. If they get some defense,
figure out how this boy putting on 20 pounds in the middle of the
that
season.
Texas barbecue is good, man.
Putting up 30.
Yeah, I love it down there. I love it down there in Dallas. I've been to DFW.
Can eat a chicken burger and put up 60 and 20, man.
Yeah.
This is the difference between when I go to DFW and I indulge in that barbecue and hit Papa Do's and go eat all the spots I want to eat at. The difference is I don't got to play at 7 p.m.
First, and you traded all my players in the middle of the season. We was 4th.
That's crazy.
Why did you do that?
I think it's a toxic relationship. They all bad for each other.
That was a bad ownership move.
I think
that was a bad move. I said that as soon as that happened.
The Mavericks felt pressure to make a move.
100%.
If you look at the market, there was not any other stars, so they saw a star become available and they jumped on it because deep down they know with how volatile and emotional Luka is, he's gonna ask for a trade if you don't make a move.
You're telling me if you're telling me so you haven't been in a relationship for a couple of years. You're starting to feel a little lonely, but you're not really into going to the club to look for those, little flings. You're telling me you're gonna wipe up the most toxic chick in your apartment complex?
I mean, they've already shown a history. They've already shown a history of making a move because they saw a star become available last second, like Kristaps. Kristaps at the time was seen as a rising star, and he became available, and they jumped on it, and it didn't work out.
He wasn't a rising star at that moment.
Was he not? Was he not? He was an
injury prone. That was the narrative about him. Is he going to be able to stay on the court for a long time? He didn't. He was a rising star on the Knicks.
Promise though.
Well, he had promise, yeah. But that you guys both are right. Y'all both are right.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm not gonna disagree. The guy was injury prone, but like at the time of when he was traded, I think the narrative was that Dallas fleeced him. At least that's what I remember. Was Dallas fleeced for a a guy that could be a star and who could be a star right next.
I agree with that.
A perfect fit next to Luka because of his ability to stretch the floor and how he could protect the rim. That didn't work out. Then you go to
they need him now.
What do y'all think about along the road Smith? He says I can see Luka and Jokic where you trade MPJ to Dallas.
That's a nice. I like that too.
And then Christopher D kept it real. No one is coming to Dallas. Y'all know this. No one's coming to Dallas. They're not trying to play with Luka. It's the player choice way. Yeah, them boys don't get it started. The player choice way. You're the player choice way. Come and switch lanes into the player choice way.